Okay, I will carry on. I am pleased to rise to support this motion before the House today. Just last week, I was contacted by two separate constituents who had appalling experiences when calling 000 in the last month. One man called 4 times. His calls were not answered. When ESTA finally called back, they refused to send an ambulance. This is the man's first experience calling 000. He now lives with the fear that in an emergency, help probably won't come. Or worse, the organisation that is supposed to help will not even answer the phone. Another was a woman who had an offender on her doorstep while home alone with her young child. In the early hours of the morning, he tried to break into her car parked in the driveway, so she flicked the porch light on, thinking that it would scare him off. Instead, he approached the doorstep and began shouting and banging aggressively for her to open up. She called 000 3 times for police assistance. He eventually left, but she and her child were shaken. No police ever showed up. I don't know what is going on at ESTA, but I do know that Victorians are being denied the medical and emergency support they need in times of crisis. The experiences of these constituents were awful, but sadly, these stories are not the worst of it. Victoria has recently lost 12 people, including 4 children, for no good reason. Innocent people and children who may still have been here with us today if the Andrews Labor government knew how to resource their emergency call system. The Andrews government's mismanagement of the system has cost too many Victorians their lives. 90% of 000 calls are supposed to be answered within 5 seconds. I can guarantee Victorians aren't counting the seconds in their time of need. They are too busy trying to stay alive or keep someone else alive in a crisis. When you need CPR or require emergency medical help, seconds count. The 12 Victorians who have died are added proof that seconds count. It is up to ESTA to count the seconds and to meet these targets, but that hasn't been happening. Various media organisations have written articles which state 7 out of 10 calls were not answered on time in January. Others report Victorians had to consistently wait more than 5 minutes to be put through to a call taker in December and January. But it is now March, almost April, and these failures to answer calls are still happening. And I know this from my own constituents. The health system is no doubt facing unprecedented demand due to COVID-19. But COVID struck us 2 years ago now, and it was only a few weeks ago we heard an announcement that $115.6 million would be allocated to ESTA to hire more call takers. Ironic that this government can always pull funding from nowhere in an election year. ESTA employees have also spoken out, as was reported by The Age on 12 January this year. These are people who go to work every day to make a difference. They don't feel like they make a difference anymore, as even when a call is answered, there is often a shortage of ambulances available to dispatch. Victorians deserve to know why they are being denied ambulances and why their calls are not being picked up. And if Mr Ashton's inquiry has been done thoroughly, that information should be contained in the documents requested through this motion. I commend the motion.